Trump's response to the coronavirus is increasingly looking like a genocidal campaign against the poor. Check it out, leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Hey, Robbie, what's up?
Just a smoky morning here in Portland.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Well, you see the smoke? There's a lot of smoke, some type of fire. Anyway, I'll get to my thing
I see
here.
the haze. I don't know where it's coming from, though.
Yeah, I've been delivering all over the city. And anyway, besides that, I wanted to bring up, kind of adding on to this, they're turning this into a genocide on poor people. And it's happening very quickly because, 2 months ago, this was tearing through rich people, the elite, Prince Charles, I believe, they don't grocery shop down here. Now it's starting to hit the poverty, and now we're hitting, it's unproportionately killing African Americans. And one thing that I wanted to share is this is a reflection of before COVID-19, there was already higher death rates amongst people giving birth of color, people who go in for, heart attacks. Black people were already dying at much higher rates than, their white counterparts. So I think this is just an amplification of the hospitals and their treatment. Considering they might not have the best health insurance, they're kind of putting off going to the hospital until it's too late, and then there's already no hospital beds. Anyway, what I'm seeing is a genocide on poor people. Clearly, they said already they don't care. It's patriotic to die for your economy is what the Republican rhetoric is. But I truly believe that they actually. And I'm going to say, it's actually unfortunate Boris Johnson got discharged from the ICU. I was hoping something, I was hoping that it would have been able to have the same type of detrimental effects on the elite class as it would have the poor. But now it's clear to me they just think that they can buy their safety. That's why they want us to, go back to work. And then they just think if you can make enough money, you can, pay for your own doctor.
Well, they don't want to go back to work, Robbie. I guarantee you, the CEOs of the CEO of, I can't guarantee you what Jeff Bezos is doing, but, a lot of these big companies where they're asking their employees to go back to work, the senior management is not. And you're absolutely right. In fact, those diseases that I listed earlier, cancer, obesity, diabetes, and hypertension, and the latter two usually arising out of obesity, those are wildly overrepresented among our poor population, in large part because so many of them live in essentially food deserts, and because fast food, which causes obesity, is actually in many cases cheaper than preparing your own food. So you've got an entire poor population that has been thrown into a health crisis over the last 40 years by Reaganomics and by, really over the last several hundred years by, systemic, institutionalized discriminatory practices and whatnot. And you have a disease coming along that's going to hit that population disproportionately. And so, of course, Trump and Stephen Miller, they're saying, oh, yeah, well, just go back to work, no problem. And we will weed out of the gene pool those people who are poor.
Hey, Tom, if I could make one last point. Hey, Tom, can I make one last point?
Quickly.
LA Times put out an article saying that the Army is seizing hospital supplies. Have you read that?
Yeah, and it's not just the Army. FEMA has been seizing hospital supplies as well. As they're being shipped from wholesalers to hospitals, they're interdicting these shipments, and in some cases the companies are stripping the logos off so people won't know what they are, so they can't do it.